guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Juana. I am the crafty Puerto Rican. So today I'm going to be working with sublimation. I need to fulfill this order. It's a 30-ounce tumbler. So I'm gonna go through the whole process of how to wrap the tumbler, how to press it, and yeah. So guys, I can't wait to share with you. So let's get started. I am in Silo Studios. This is the design that I'm going to be sublimating into a 30-ounce tumbler. The measurements that I'm using for this particular tumbler is 10 inches wide and a height of 9.4 inches. But you have to measure your own tumbler because each brand tumbler is different. For this particular brand, this is the measurement. And so this is a 3D puff effect design, meaning that it has like a 3D and at the same time it's like puff design. Let me make it a little bit bigger right here. You can also use your Cricut to print your sublimation. I prefer using Silhouette Studio for this purpose. So these are the items that I need to wrap this tumbler. I'm gonna be using the 30-ounce tumbler, butcher paper, scissors in case I need to trim the template. This is the wrap right here. The tape is heat-resistant tape, and the cradle. The cradle is optional. You don't need to use the cradle. It makes my life a little bit easier when it comes to wrapping it, but you can wrap a tumbler without needing the cradle, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to meet you at the craft table to start the whole process of wrapping the tumbler, okay? See you in a little bit, people. And of course, I forgot to mention the tumbler press, which I'm gonna show you later on when I'm ready to press the tumbler, all right? I forgot to mention that you need to clean the tumbler before you apply the wrap. You can use alcohol to clean it around, or you can use sticky roller. This is because there's accumulation of dust on the surface of the tumbler. So you need to make sure that there's nothing in it. You're gonna remove the top of the tumbler and you're gonna make sure there's nothing inside. Some tumblers come with additional stuff inside. So make sure that, you know, everything is out, nothing inside, and then you're gonna be rolling around. You will be surprised the amount of dust that it does accumulate on these tumblers. If you don't do this step, you run the risk of having spots on the design. They tend to come in a blue color. So that's why you have to make sure that there's nothing stuck on the tumbler, okay? Very important. This apply to any size tumbler. This apply to the shirts when you're sublimating. Actually, it applies to everything when it comes to sublimation. You do the same process for all the items that you're going to sublimate. I think this is good enough. I have a new neighbor. The name is Poppy. It's a dog. She's adorable. But she tends to bark in the morning. So if you hear a barking, I don't have a dog. It's my neighbor dog, okay? In case you hear her barking. And it tends to be like in the mornings. And I'm, you know, doing this in the morning. So I might have to change my days of recording to the evenings. But anyway, she's adorable. I love dogs. So I'm gonna stand here so that I know already that this is a little bit taller that I'm gonna trim around, but I'm gonna do it in the bottom and I'm gonna do it on the top. So I'm gonna take it like this. This is a bigger tumbler to wrap. You have to make sure that the edges are touching and that you're gonna have just a little bit of overlapping, not a lot of overlapping. These are different measurements from the one that is a 20-ounce. So I don't know by memory, the 20-ounce, I do know by memory is 9.346 in width and the height of 8.2, but this one is different. I haven't memorized these measurements. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna secure, once I have the spot that I want, I'm gonna secure this spot with one piece, and then I can work the other ones easier. Okay. When I saw this 3D design, which is a puff effect, I loved it. I had this customer, it's very funny. I had this customer from my Etsy shop that she complained because he said, well, it's not 3D. It's flat. The surface is flat. And so she gave me not a much positive review. So people don't understand that I am not selling a 3D, tumbler. It's a 3D effect, okay? Of course, the tumbler is going to be flat. I don't know what she was thinking, even though, it's described on the description of my shop, but it was so funny. I started laughing. I couldn't stop laughing that people think that, that I'm going to be selling a tumbler that is going to be 3D. And she said, but the flat is surface. I said, ma'am, because it's a tumbler. It's a 3D effect. But anyway, it was very funny. Like I said, I couldn't stop laughing. But that's okay. That happened. It's part of the deal of selling items online, So now you see I have this extra in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it a bit. So I'm going to be using my scissors. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place the tape all around the bottom and on the top. I have lots of other videos that include sublimating tumblers. You can watch those videos if you're new to the channel. When you do this part, make sure you make it firm. You don't want any air between the tumbler and the wrap. You want to press down. And then in the middle, I'm going to put some extra one across, up from the top to the bottom. I have listed all the items that I use for my sublimation down on the description box. So if you have any questions about the items that I am using, I have them all listed down on the description box, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and put one around it. And this one I stretch out and make sure there's pressure. And what this does, it doesn't allow for air to come in between the tumbler and the wrap. That's the whole thing about this. Some sublimation paper that's stuck into the tape. For those who are new to sublimation, sublimation is a gas. The color becomes a gas when it heats up and it rises. That's why you protect all your substrates with butcher paper to protect your equipment. Okay? Because when it gets stuck into your equipment, it takes a long time to disappear if it disappears. Okay? Just so that you know that. You want to make sure that this is very stuck in there. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap it. This is kind of short. This way is better. Yeah, this is better. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take it to the tumbler press and I'll see you around, okay? So the tumbler press is set at 360 degrees, and I'm gonna do intervals of 25 seconds around. And yeah, I'm also gonna be using my heat resistor gloves to turn it around because it gets very hot. I needed to adjust this press for this size tumbler. It took me a while. So sometimes when I use a 30 ounce, I don't do them some often because I don't receive many orders for 30 ounce. Then I had to reset it back to the 20 ounce. So sometimes when the order is at 30 ounce, I'm like, oh my gosh, because it takes a time to set it to the right pressure, but you know, it is what it is. So let's start by placing it inside. I put the seam on the top to let me know how many turns do I need to do. It's like a guide so that I know that when I go around, I'm going to end up on the top of the seam again. All right. So let's do this. Like I explained before, this press, I'm going to move you around. I think it's more comfortable for me this way. This press doesn't have a beep, okay? So it doesn't beep when it's ready to be turned. So I need to be watching at the screen of the press to know the time. Sometimes the smell of the ink fume is kind of strong with sublimation. If you have any sensitivity to it, you can go ahead and use a mask. And it should be okay. Okay. All right. And I'm going to turn off the burn. So I'm going to let the tumbler cool down, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the tumbler wrap off. All right. Okay, so this is cooling off to handle. I can tell already that it's sublimated nicely because I can see it through the paper. So I'm going to do my trash transfer cleaning because I don't like working around mess. You know me already by now, for those who follow me, that I'm very neat. I don't like messes around me. Sometimes I use this to help me lift up the tape, but you have to be very careful. You cannot scratch the tumbler. Just do it away from the tumbler, okay? Because that easily can scratch your tumbler. Wow. This looks so amazing, the colors. Look at this. There is some white leftover thing. This is from the paper. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Sometimes when you have a lot of pressure into the tumbler, the residue of the backing of the paper leaves like a white sandy thing. I'm going to go ahead and clean it up. Wow. This is perfection, people. Look at this on the bottom. I think I'm repeating this tumbler for me next time. I like it. I'll be back. I'm gonna clean this up and I'll see you in a little bit. So I'm back. You see, I clean it up. There's no white residue. So in the beginning, when I started sublimating, I was upset. I said, what is that white thing? And then I realized it's paper. Look at these colors and look at this 3D puff effect. I don't know if you can appreciate it on the camera, but I can. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the craft table. See you in a little bit, people. I love the result. I love this tumbler wrap. I'm gonna link down below where I got it from. I'm sure it's from Creative Fabrica. If not, it's from Etsy. All right. So guys, this is it. I'm very happy, like I said before, of the result. Everything came perfect on the bottom, nice on the top. The colors are popping and the 3D effect is amazing. So all I have to do now is to box it, ship it, and that's it. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you have any question about the whole process of how to sublimate a tumbler, I have videos that you can go back to it and watch, or you can ask those questions down in the description box. If you're new and you have not subscribed yet, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican. And guys, thank you for spending this time with me. I will see you soon with some new content. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Hasta luego.